This program contains material that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Beware of friendly leopards.
He jumped up on his back and bit him twice on the head.
A bullfighter races to save a cowboy and takes a hoof to the chest.
I just saw Dennis go flying in the air. He went way up in the air and came down, and his head thudded hard.
And the heartbreaking story of a whale with a tangled tail.
The fate of this whale is death. There's no way this animal can survive.
Wild, uncensored, raw, heart-stopping animal encounters. Caught on tape by everyday people from all over the world. Computer-generated graphics will show you exactly what happened. And meet the survivors.
I grabbed him, muddy as he was, and gave him a hug and held him there.
All on Untamed and Uncut. Playing with a leopard is never a good idea. Even one that seems friendly can turn ferocious in a flash.
Things just happen in a blur.
When a leopard attacks, it's all teeth and claws, just a total shredding machine.
This wildlife photographer never saw it coming.
We didn't realize that he was about to be killed.
At the Sandalani Game Lodge in Zimbabwe, Africa, visitors spend their days on safari and their nights in luxurious surroundings. It's a unique resort where the wild animals are accustomed to human visitors, which makes for spectacular close encounters.
They had wild elephants that people actually could ride on. They had warthogs walking around the lodge. And then there was also a so-called tame leopard.
TV producer Johan Badenhorst is here with a crew shooting a documentary. A game warden takes Johan's team to videotape what seems like a sociable leopard. A young female who's been raised in captivity and fed by humans her entire life.
The leopard actually enjoyed being petted. The leopard was purring like a cat when I scratched it.
She's never had to kill for food. And as Johan pets her through a fence, two other members of his team step into her enclosure. Lawrence Human, the videographer shooting these pictures, admits they all completely misread the feline signals.
The leopard was playful, and it really was like a little kitten. And I think that it lulled us into a false sense of security.
As the TV crew stands unprotected just a few feet away, the leopard rubs against a wooden post.
It seems as though there was absolutely nothing wrong. The animal was walking around, Lawrence was filming it.
She comes over and starts playing with one of the men's shoes. She's so rough, she makes the man groan.
But it walked off again and so on, and we didn't expect that anything was going to happen.
The cat circles the men. It paws at Ray Jans von Rensburg, then suddenly grabs him by the shoulder and bites.
I don't know the reason why he went for Ray.
He jumped up on his back with his claws actually going right into his shoulder and bit him twice on the head. There's absolutely nothing anybody else could do to save him.
If only they'd realized the cat was sending warning signs.
A leopard can easily kill a full-grown man. They kill prey animals much bigger than humans.
Scott Lope is director of operations at Big Cat Rescue, a sanctuary in Tampa, Florida, that keeps several leopards. Scott says at first this female tolerated the men when they were outside her pen.
It's rubbing around, it wants some attention, maybe wants someone to scratch its neck, and this is typical of hand-raised animals. And then everything changes when the people enter the animal's enclosure, because you do have a very territorial animal.
As the cat rubs against the post, she sends them a warning.
they're always marking, and they have scent glands in their face, and they have scent all over their whole body, so they're actually marking their territory. Every time they rub, and even on the post, that again is sending a strong message. This is my territory, it belongs to me, get out.
She bares her teeth to the humans. Now her warning is more urgent, and when she comes over and plays with the men's shoes, her claws come out. Then finally, she attacks. Lorenz, the cameraman, kicks the leopard.
But it was a reflex action. And once I've kicked it, it moved off into the bushes.
The leopard looks stunned, like a house cat that's been scolded with a broom. Ray is still standing, but he's badly injured.
It was not immediately obvious how serious it was, but as the blood started gushing out of his wounds in his head and so on, we realized that he was in big trouble.
Now it's a race against time. The men are more than 100 miles away from the nearest hospital. They wrap a makeshift bandage around Ray's head and drive.
Ray had a number of wounds. Some of them was on his shoulder and in his neck, where the claws actually punctured his body, his flesh. But then on his head itself, there were gashes where the teeth of this animal actually opened up his skull.
Despite severe bleeding and only makeshift bandages, Ray survives the 100-mile trip to the hospital, and doctors finally look at his wounds. He winds up with 47 stitches on his shoulder, neck, and head. He knows he owes his life to quick thinking by Lorenz.
If it wasn't for Lorenz that came to my aid and kicked this leopard, there is a good chance that I wouldn't be sitting here today.
The other thing that saved him, he says, was a crucial move he made when the cat climbed on him.
It came up and it went for my neck. And I knew this is one part of my body that I must protect at all costs.
Right here, she sinks one tooth into his neck. If she rips an artery, he'll quickly bleed out, go into shock, and die.
And then I turned my head towards it, and it bit me in the head.
She wraps powerful paws around his head and bites down, ripping his scalp, but sparing his life. Leopard expert Scott Lowe believes the predator never really meant to kill him. Possibly because she was so used to humans.
Had that leopard wanted to really deliver a killing blow, the injury would have been much more severe.
Ray still works as a photographer, shooting in some of the most spectacular locations on Earth. As for the leopard, he says, she was just doing what these cats do.
We were in the leopard's domain and not the other way around. We were intruding in the leopard's area.
This could be the most dangerous spot in the world. Sitting on top of 2,000 pounds of angry bull. But at this rodeo, when the chute opens, the real danger isn't on the back of the bull. It's at the hard end of a hoof.
He just takes an uppercut kick.
It was scary seeing him lying there.
Dennis Johnson is down in the ring. He hadn't moved yet.
Dennis Johnson has fought bulls for years.
Dennis is from Australia. He's a great bullfighter.
His friend Rob Smets is also one of the best.
The role of a bullfighter is to be there to protect the cowboy when the cowboy comes off.
They're the unsung heroes of the rodeo.
Hopefully you provide yourself as a better target for the animal than the cowboy.
Bullfighters move in like a human shield the second a rider gets tossed. Their job is to make sure the cowboy gets out alive.
I worry about Dennis.
With his wife Amber and 3 kids to support, Dennis worked his way up to the very top of the pro circuit.
I think bull riding can be very dangerous just because of the uncertainty of what the animal's gonna do.
But no one could have predicted the horror that happens here in Baltimore, Maryland. Professional bull rider Josh Lazinski is out of the chute on a hard-charging bull called Budman.
He's a pretty good bucking bull.
So when Budman bucks Josh, Rob and Dennis are there.
Josh gets thrown off away from his hand and hangs up for a couple of jumps.
A hang-up is when a cowboy's hand is still trapped in the rope after he's bucked off.
Would be trying to get in there to go get him loose.
Now watch closely as Dennis runs in behind the bull to save Josh.
I just saw Dennis go flying in the air. He went way up in the air and came down, and his head thudded hard.
My fears while I'm watching Dennis just laying there on the arena ground is that I'm not gonna have my husband. He's not gonna come home.
Being kicked by a bull is probably going to be a lot like stepping out on that road and taking a shot from a Mack truck at about 45 miles an hour.
I remember watching him thinking, oh, Dennis, please breathe, just take that breath.
Coming up next, can they get Dennis out of the ring before the bull comes back for the kill? Then, a monkey sinks her teeth into a 13-year-old girl's face. And the heart of a neighborhood is stuck in a pipe. It's all caught on tape on Untamed and Uncut. Tragedy at a Maryland rodeo. Cowboy Josh Lazinski is thrown from a bull. Then his bullfighter Dennis Johnson races in to protect him. He takes a terrifying kick to his chest.
Dennis is flying backwards, and it's obvious that he's been injured.
A hit like that could probably be fatal.
He's there to protect the Cowboys, and he's not going to let him down, even at the risk of his own life.
His wife's heart is racing as Dennis lies there, not moving at all.
The scariest moment was watching Dennis just laying there not breathing and not knowing if he was going to breathe.
It's a lot like being at a prize fight and seeing somebody get knocked out and how their head hits the canvas and that thud.
Bullfighter Rob Smets is side by side with Dennis in the arena, trying to save Josh when Dennis takes a hoof to the chest. Now 2 men are down. Rodeo doctor Tandy Freeman is faced with trying to get them both out alive.
Having 2 guys on the ground can be a bit of an issue, but we just approach it like you would in any sort of mass casualty situation.
The bull stomped Josh's ankle, snapping it like a twig. He's carried out.
Get the camera out of the way.
But Dennis, a father of 3, is still not moving.
Dennis Johnson, one of the bullfighters, is down in the arena. He hasn't moved yet.
The crowd is silent.
Moved now out of the arena.
When we get to Dennis in the arena, he's unconscious.
Well, a concerned crowd looking.
As the crowd watches the replay, Dennis's courage is clear for all to see. But it's what Dennis doesn't see that puts his life in jeopardy. As he runs toward the bull, Josh manages to free his hand from the rope. But because of the bull's massive bulk, Dennis's view is blocked. Unaware the cowboy is okay, Dennis charges in full steam. And that's when he takes the mother of all kicks.
These kind of kicks can become deadly very quickly.
It seems to take forever, but finally the sight they've all been praying for. Dennis takes a breath.
You just see his chest rise, and that was like, okay, he's gonna make it, he's gonna live.
Medics carefully check to see if Dennis might have a broken jaw, neck, or crushed skull.
Folks, it's all mayhem all the time. It's a professional bullfighting. Dennis Johnson now.
Amazingly, Dennis gets to his feet and walks out to a standing ovation from the crowd. Although he's definitely a bit shaky.
Remember, they put his cowboy hat on and he kind of touched it, moved it sideways, and he just looked really drunk, but he was walking, he was okay.
I know, I scared the heck out of most of the people that was there. I think they thought I was dead. Where he hit me was right in the set high chest. If it had been up a little bit higher, it could have been real bad.
With a shelf full of trophies,
This means everything to us.
Dennis finally retired as a professional bullfighter.
I feel lucky that I walked away with no major injuries. I was concussed and sore-headed for a few days, but I got to live for another day.
whale is snared in a shark net. It's been dragging 1,000 pounds of netting and anchors for days.
The fate of this whale is death. There's no way this animal can survive.
If exhaustion doesn't kill it, predators certainly will.
It's been preyed upon by killer whales and sharks.
It's only hope, a team of rescuers who put their own lives at risk, lashing their boat to the whale's tail.
That whale can pull that boat underwater. Once the bow's underwater, the boat's gone.
The incredible journey begins beneath the waves off Australia, where thick nets protect surfers and swimmers from sharks.
In 2008, we captured 48 sharks along the Gold Coast region. Bull sharks, we get tiger sharks, we get hammerheads, and on occasions we catch great whites.
Craig Newton's job is maintaining those nets.
Just go straight into the sheep pen.
But later that year, during the height of whale migration season, he discovers one of the nets is missing. The nets are designed to withstand violent seas, so the missing net probably wasn't simply washed away, and only one animal is powerful enough to rip it from its moorings.
Couldn't see the net anywhere. Immediately you think that we've had a whale strike.
That triggers a search by sea and by air. 4 days later, a young humpback whale, less than 2 years old, turns up. It weighs about 35 tons, and it's trailing the net about 120 yards behind it.
When we arrived at the site, we went up and had a very close look at the animal. We can see that the net was wrapped right around the tail stalk.
Trevor Long from SeaWorld Australia is part of the rescue team. Now that they've located the whale in the net, Trevor's first job is to make sure they don't lose sight of it again.
The first thing that should be done is that we'll try and get some floats on this animal, and they're the big orange floats that you see.
But how did the whale get tangled in the first place? The net is as long as 2 football fields. White floats made from cork keep it buoyant, while 2 anchors designed to dig into the ocean bed hold it in place. The whale snags the net at one end and rolls, trying to free itself. Instead, the net winds tightly around the animal's tail. The more the whale rotates, the more it gets tangled. Now it's got more than 200 feet of netting wound around its tail, another 120 yards trailing behind it. And after dragging all this gear, it's having trouble breathing.
If we don't get the gear off of it, it's going to drown.
The rescuers decide to slow the whale so they can remove the anchors and cut the net. But humpbacks have incredible power. Just their pectoral fins can sink a boat. When Craig Newton hooks his 37-foot-long, 10-ton vessel to the net, it barely makes a difference.
We were going along for the ride.
Graham Long, Trevor's brother, is on the smaller watercraft taking pictures.
Sometimes there we had probably 4 to 6 of the big orange buoys trailing it, and when it wanted to, it just dived. And it took 2 or 3 of those at a time down with it. And it would dive and it would break the shackles. It would come up 10 minutes later. A couple of big breaths, and then, okay, here we go again.
The whale dives every time the rescuers get close, making it impossible to cut the net. Somehow they need to hold that tail steady. Even though the big boat couldn't slow the animal, they're gonna try lashing the little boat to its tail and hope for the best.
One flick of a tail can crush that boat.
Up next, will rescuers save the whale or die trying? And later, a monkey goes wild on a 13-year-old girl.
The monkey is literally jumping onto the girl, pulling her to the ground, wrestling with her, inflicting bite wounds.
It's all next on Untamed and Uncut. The program contains material that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. A young humpback whale is snared in a shark net off Australia's Gold Coast. It'll die if a few brave souls can't cut the net away.
This is a highly dangerous activity. These are very big, very strong, very aggressive animals.
Tony Ham is manager of the SharkNet program.
There is a danger you might become entangled in the equipment and drowned, and you're working with exceedingly sharp knives and cutting equipment.
The netting is made of thick polypropylene, something like nylon, and the rescuers need special tools to cut through it.
This is our basic knife. This is just a V knife, which is used for general cutting purposes, so it's affixed to a handle and then is slid under the equipment and the rope slides down and pull through, and it cuts fairly cleanly. This is our next apparatus. It's actually called a spoon knife, so that when you have equipment which is quite tightly wrapped on an animal, you pick up and just slide under the equipment, so it slides between the skin and the rope, and we'll cut that quite effectively.
Here he comes again. Here he comes.
They've got the tools, but the rescuers still can't free the whale because it's dodging them.
Mister, I'm chasing one line. I'm chasing one line.
Trevor Long is in the lead boat.
As soon as we got the boats up to him, he would shy and just become very skittish and just go down deeper.
By the 8th hour, the whale and the rescuers are exhausted. Right here, one of the rescuers actually loses a knife. Daylight's fading, and it's far too dangerous to continue after dark. Graham Long wonders, what's next?
At one stage, I thought, are we going to go right through the night? And knowing how Trevor works, I was thinking, we're out here all night. He won't give up.
That's when Trevor decides to do something that would make Captain Ahab cringe. He'll tether his tiny boat to the tail of the 35-ton mammal. He hopes the boat will be buoyant enough to keep the whale's tail high in the water and relatively immobile, so they can finally cut the net. It's a gamble that could kill them all.
It's a very dangerous thing to do, because if that whale decides he's going to go, and you can't get that rope undone, basically he could sink your boat.
Rescuers use grappling hooks to catch the net. They pull the boat in as close as possible and tie it off just feet from the massive tail. It works! The whale can't sink the little boat. And it can't submerge its tail with the buoyant boat cinched right above it.
The whale's tail is right under our vessel, but it's quite uncomfortable here. The boat's going up and down in the waves. You've got the whale's tail right there. You've got to be very, very careful of that. You've got a lot of this action here. But quite often the knife will get caught in the net. And quite often during the whole rescue on the day, we had to let these knives go, and the knives was in the net.
And now there's even greater danger for the exhausted whale. With the boat tied to its tail, it can't bend its back to breathe properly.
It was gasping for breath. When it would come up to breathe, it was like a massive amount of air. It was almost like a major sigh and breath at the same time.
The team cuts. And cuts.
And then, all of a sudden, one strand was cut and everything fell away. It was free.
Well, I didn't think it really realised it was free. It took a little while before the animal slowly started to take off and realise it was totally free.
On the big boat, rescuer Craig Newton celebrates.
The feeling for me was great. It's a lot like releasing Willie, I suppose. Oh, there's a couple of high fives going around the deck.
The whale is completely unharmed and disappears into the deep.
The reaction from the crew is one of an enormous relief, but enormous joy for the whale that it can continue on its migration.
Thousands of humpback whales traverse these waters every year. If another one snags a shark net, this team will be ready.
This is a very lucky whale that it's actually got itself caught in a place in Australia where there's skilled people with resources that can help it.
A monkey is on the loose in a zoo and approaches a group of children. With no warning, the monkey attacks a little girl.
It was very shocking.
Onlookers try to pull the monkey off, but it sinks its teeth into the terrified girl's face.
The monkey is literally jumping onto the girl, pulling her to the ground and wrestling with the girl and actually inflicting bite wounds.
A DEPA is a center for special needs children from poor families in Recife, Brazil. Among the 70 children they care for here, Raíssa Lopes, a 13-year-old with Down syndrome.
She's kind. She does most activities. She loves to play.
Ivanice Laurentino, who runs the center, takes Raíssa and the other children for a day out at the zoo. After a fun-filled morning, the group is shocked to see a monkey wandering around.
When I looked down, there was a monkey right in front of the group. I was really surprised.
It's a spider monkey. Named for their long, spindly limbs, spider monkeys are common in the tropical forests of Central and South America.
They are incredibly strong.
Kathy Slater studies spider monkey behavior on a reserve in southern Mexico.
Spider monkeys are notoriously difficult to keep in captivity, and there are lots of problems with aggression.
The zoo keeps the spider monkeys on an island separated from visitors by a river.
The spider monkey was named Christina.
Journalist Bianca Cavallo says somehow Christina the monkey made it over the water.
It was lunchtime and the monkey suddenly appeared.
Now Christina is confronted with a group of noisy children, and none of them see the danger coming.
Out of nowhere, the monkey went straight to Raíssa's foot and knocked her down.
Another staff member, Douglas Denobriga, tries desperately to pull the monkey off Raíssa.
It was unbelievable how much strength that monkey had. It was like a human.
Nothing is working.
She was screaming. I would have screamed too.
Then, to their horror, they see the monkey grab poor little Raíssa's head and sink her razor-sharp teeth right onto her face.
We thought we were going to lose her. She was about to die.
Up next, can they save the girl from the savage attack? Then,
come on, Samson.
The neighborhood dog is stuck and running out of air.
If we don't get Samson out, he'll die.
It's all caught on tape on Untamed and Uncut. This program contains material that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. An escaped spider monkey attacks a 13-year-old girl with Down syndrome during a visit to a zoo. Helpers try desperately to pry the crazed monkey off little Raíssa, but can't.
No one there could ever imagine something like this.
Journalist Bianca Carvalho says the monkey grabs the screaming girl's head and won't let go. Ivanice Laurentino and Douglas Denobriga, who care for Raíssa, end up in a life-or-death tug of war.
I started pulling its tail. Ivanice hit the monkey with her purse. They kicked the monkey so the monkey would leave.
There was one person who started kicking the monkey, which almost certainly made things worse.
Kathy Slater studies spider monkeys in southern Mexico. She says they are surprisingly strong and can inflict terrible injuries.
They have very prominent canine teeth, which are incredibly sharp, and it's really probably the most powerful weapon that they have.
And those teeth are sinking right into defenseless Raíssa's face. What they can't understand is what Christina is even doing in this part of the zoo. She's supposed to be on an island across a river where the spider monkeys are kept apart from visitors. But something causes Christina to swim across the river and go over to the area where the children are.
They told me that Christina wasn't able to swim. That's why she lived there without disturbing anyone in the park.
In actual fact, they can swim.
What's more, Kathy says spider monkeys have no mechanism for dealing with conflict. They just leave.
Something happened in that group, potentially an aggressive event, something that scared that monkey sufficiently to make them swim out of the enclosure. So it's likely that the animal was already extremely distressed and agitated.
Unfortunately, it's in that agitated state that Christina approaches Raíssa, whose disability may have further confused the monkey.
If an individual doesn't respond to, the monkey in the way that they expect it to, they can interpret that as some kind of a threat.
Finally, Douglas grabs Christina and throws her off Raíssa, whose face is now covered in blood.
Então foi
Blood was all over the place. Everybody was screaming. The kids were terrified.
She's rushed to the local hospital. Her hysterical mother, Ileana, races to be by her daughter's side. Doctors treat Raíssa's bite marks and give her rabies shots. They bandage her face and are worried she may lose her sight. But when the bandages come off, Raíssa, it turns out, is going to be just fine.
I thought she was going to be traumatized, but in fact, she is not. She is still a lovable and happy kid.
Although she's more nervous of animals now. As for Christina,
The vets told me that she was very nervous, that she didn't eat. She was very, very frightened.
the zoo now houses Christina away from people and other animals.
I won't forget that day for 100 years.
It's not the monkey's fault, it's not the child's fault. Christina was at the wrong place at that wrong moment.
And now an untamed shortcut. Sharks are supposed to be the ultimate predators. But something is eating them alive at an aquarium in Seattle. When sharks mysteriously start disappearing, a photographer sets up a camera. He doesn't have to wait long. A giant Pacific octopus wraps its tentacles around a 4-foot-long dogfish. But it's not much of a battle. The octopus kills it quickly, stabbing the shark with its beak. The octopus's beak is hard and made out of a material similar to what part of your body? Is it A, a fingernail, B, a tooth, or C, an elbow? The answer when Untamed and Uncut comes back. A set of jaws proves no match for 8 tentacles at an aquarium in Seattle. The footage solves the mystery of why sharks kept disappearing from the aquarium's tanks. First, the giant Pacific octopus wraps around the shark, then stabs it with its powerful beak. So what is an octopus's beak made of? Keratin, a material found in human fingernails. So the answer is A, a fingernail. It's rare for an octopus to eat a shark, rarer still to catch it all on tape. It's one of the saddest sounds you'll ever hear.
Come on, Samson. Dig your way out.
The heartbreaking cries of a dog in distress.
I hear you.
He's trapped deep inside this pipe. An entire neighborhood is frantically trying to save him, but nothing's working.
We're going to have to do something to get him out, or he's definitely going to die. He cannot get out.
3-year-old Samson, a Siberian Husky mix, is the love of the Snyder family. But he's the heart of the entire neighborhood in Marion, Indiana.
He knew everyone, and everyone just kind of took care of him.
Lisa and Stephen Porter were playing with Samson when a rabbit runs by. It disappears down a pipe, and Samson is hot on his tail.
I remember Samson chasing a rabbit into the pipe, and so we saw him go in there, and we were like, where'd Samson go?
Lisa and Stephen run to their father for help.
Somebody came running in the house and said, "Hey, grab the video camera." Okay, so I go grab it, and I go running out, and there's Samson's rear end, in the pipe. Samson, what are you doing?
It was very funny at first because you would just call his name and he would be wagging his tail.
Samson. When I say his name, he wags his tail. He's wagging it right now.
I figured he'd come out sooner or later.
Come here, Samson.
Lisa and Stephen and the rest of the neighborhood kids are laughing. No one realizes yet that Samson is in real trouble. He's in a metal pipe that's only 18 inches in diameter, and Samson is a 50-pound dog. The pipe runs from one side of the road to the other. It's open on both ends, but it's jammed with dirt and debris, especially on the other side, making it a tighter and tighter squeeze the further he goes in. He's so far in, there's no reaching in and pulling him out.
He was just about dead center, 15 feet into that 30-foot pipe.
Come on, Samson.
We tried calling the dog. He wouldn't come out.
Several hours go by. Panic sets in. By now, it's painfully obvious Samson is trapped. Someone calls Brian Snyder.
All you could see when you showed a flashlight in there was two little eyeballs looking back at you. If I was small enough to crawl in the pipe, I'd have gone in.
The entire neighborhood rushes to the rescue. Digging out as much debris as they can to get Samson out.
Samson, he's moving. Which way is he going? Come here, Samson.
But it's not working. It's getting dark. Now they can't see. They're worried they'll accidentally hurt Samson, so they decide to wait it out until morning.
I started getting fearful that something bad really was happening.
If we don't get Samson out, he'll die.
Up next, Samson is in deeper than ever, and what rescuers bring in to dig him out could kill him. It's all caught on tape on Untamed and Uncut. It's day 2 of Samson's ordeal. Heartbreaking yelps still echo from this culvert pipe in Indiana. The 3-year-old husky has been stuck for almost 24 hours.
We could not get him food. We couldn't get him water.
Samson's owner, Brian Snyder, knows in his heart his dog won't last much longer. Desperate, Brian calls in the Grant County Highway Department.
We can see the back end of him on one end, and then on the other end, you could see his face. He was crying. He was in a predicament.
They're going to cut a hole in the street, cut through the culvert, right beside Samson, and pull him out.
Neighbor J.C. Porter videotapes as the rescue begins.
The plan was to cut a hole in the pipe and pull Samson out. Those guys came prepared for action.
The highway department brings in the heavy equipment. J.C. and his kids hold their breath.
It was nerve-wracking wondering if he was even still alive.
Everybody loved the dog.
We get out the road cut saw, we cut a hole in the asphalt.
They rip a huge hole in the road, then bring in a backhoe. It's a 30-foot-long pipe, and Samson is dead center. This is a delicate operation. Samson is just inches away.
Personally, was wondering if we could do it without hurting him.
They move a mountain of dirt and gravel. Now they have to cut the steel pipe with a blowtorch. Red-hot sparks are flying.
It would be a shower of sparks coming at that dog.
It was kind of dangerous for the dog.
Brian grabs a neighbor's hose to keep the sparks from burning poor Samson.
Made him really wet.
Just when it looks like the highway crew is finally about to reach him, a huge setback.
Can't reach him. I think he moved. I bet he did. He heard that noise.
All that noise scared him, and he crawled about 5 more feet during that process.
He must have been scared to death.
Come on, Samson.
Samson is nowhere near grabbing distance.
How close is he? He's way back here. There you go.
So the crew quickly starts cutting another hole.
He's stuck now.
The crew isn't about to give up, especially Mike.
Mike really stepped up to the plate. He worked like it was a child in there.
They cut another hole in the pipe as the entire neighborhood gathers. After 4 long hours of ripping up the road.
Come on, Samson. You got a collar on? Yes, you do.
Finally, their prayers are answered.
All right, Samson! Come on. Go get him something to eat.
Everybody was cheering once he came out of the hole safe, and we knew he was safe and sound, and it was just a good feeling.
Hose that dog off. We singed his hair.
He was real glad to be out of there. You could tell it. He really was glad.
Samson!
I grabbed him, muddy as he was, and gave him a hug and held him there. He was fine.
Brian walks him to his pickup truck, and there a neighbor gives him some fresh water and food. Then it's time to go home.
Bye, Samson. You need a bath, dog.
By the next morning, he was out running and playing again. After he was stuck in the pipe, he lived another 10, 11 years after that. He has passed 2 years ago. And several people still miss him.
For more wild, shocking, and outrageous videos, visit our website at animalplanet.com/Untamed and Uncut.